This is the video talk through for workshop 4 part 4. We are now on step 10. So we have detrended our time series. Now we want to compute the power spectrum again using the same Fourier transform method that we used before for the raw time series, and include a plot for this new spectrum so that we can compare it with the raw time series, compare the output from the spectrum of the detrended time series with the spectrum from the raw time series. Okay, so we need to edit our script that we had earlier, plot PSD CO2, and so we'll generate another figure 3, I'll call it, and we also need to call the function again, and rather than calling it with our y time series as input, we're going to call it, so the same command again here, except rather than putting in y, we're going to put in the detrended y, so y det. And as we did before, we're going to chop off the last number in the time series to make it an even number so we don't end up with that error. Okay, so exactly the same inputs except for we're putting in the detrended time series rather than the original time series, and we want to output it to, let's output it to PSD-Y2 and frequency 2. Okay, and then we can actually plot basically the same way. So I'll just copy all that down here. So, but we want to plot frequency 2 and PSD-Y2. And this is not the raw CO2 data, this is detrended CO2 data. Okay, so let's save that. We run that again. Okay, so it's actually a little bit difficult to compare these exactly because we've got different axes limits. So it might be helpful if we change the y-axis so that they're the same limits on both figures. So we could do that here. Put an axis. We want to go from 0 to 5. No, 0 to 6, sorry. Our limits for the x-axis, and the limits for the y-axis will go from -20 up to, well, we'll say 70. Okay, and we'll do the same for the one below. And save that and run it. Okay, so what you can see has happened is that by detrending the time series, it has removed all of the low energy that appears in the spectrum that was generated using the raw data. All that energy down here is now gone, and we can see that these spectral peaks, similar sort of magnitudes, but the energy is now appearing in the right place where we sort of expect it to, and we've got a strong periodicity yet. Once per month, which is the main cycle that we can observe in the time series, and there's another smaller component of twice per month.